Welcome to another episode of Your Way with Noe. My name is Noe, and my guest today is a very talented home decor expert, DIY enthusiast. Ladies and gentlemen, Khadija Najmi. Sorry about that. How are you, Khadija?
Thank you. That was a really sweet introduction.
So, for all of us that pretty much really watched what is the home network, the DIY network, and all of that at some point, and always thought about, remodeling and all that. Khadija actually started, and she actually took a step forward to create content like that. So, Khadija, can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, just a little bit?
So I am, hey everyone, I'm Khadija, and I have a 9 to 6 like corporate job with JP Morgan, and I realized that I like decorating when I first me and my husband, we bought our new house in April, and I realized that I like decorating a lot, and I've been wanting to start my YouTube channel for a long time. So it was like the perfect time during COVID and everything. You're at home all the time, and so I've been always creative, trying to turn like ugly things, like not so cute things, into something super nice. And I decided to kind of just make videos about it and share it with everyone on YouTube or Instagram. I haven't been very, I guess, available on Instagram that much, but I would like to go that route and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a little bit about me, and yep.
Um, so when you first got started, it's really focused currently around your house, your own house, and how you know, the projects that you're working on it, right?
Right, right. And so it started off with my living room and my dining area, because I thought that I needed to get it ready to go. When I first bought it, on my house, I wanted to like invite my family over. So I'm like, okay, I need to have my living room set up and my dining room set up. Like, how do I do it? And
Yeah.
so I'm like literally scrolling through Pinterest, and Pinterest is like, by the way, it's like literally people wake up in the morning and check their emails. Like I go to Pinterest. So that's pretty much like went through that, and I'm like, wow, there's like so many different ways that a person can style their home, and it just kind of really attracted me towards it, and it kind of like turned that part of my brain on, like my creative part of the brain, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can totally do this. I can make this look nice. And so when everything was completed, put up in my living room and my dining room, my family came over, and they're like, wow, you did such a great job. And I think like, I guess it also like helps me when like people like see it and they're like, wow, you're doing like such a great job, and it kind of makes me want to like do more of it.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, and then also like I definitely change my mind on things a lot. It's not like, okay, I like think of something and I'm like, wow, I put it together and it works. Sometimes it takes a lot of thinking and preparing before
Mhm.
something is created, and I mean a room is created, or a corner in your house is created to look nice.
When you first started, like you mentioned, your first rooms that you worked on were your kitchen and your living room for your family. Um, do you remember, like, was it an interesting conversation with your husband when, you were working on your living room or your kitchen, but then you prop up a camera for, your videos on YouTube, and like how did he react to that? Like, oh, I'm gonna work on our home, but
I
I'm gonna
mean,
record it.
honestly, like my husband's like very supportive and stuff,
Oh.
and he like tries to like come into the video here and there, and I usually like edit him out. But yeah, he's like actually very supportive, and he's always, but he actually doesn't like when I change my mind a lot. That's the thing that you might be
Oh.
asking, because I like I like buy something and I'm like, okay, yeah, this looks amazing, and then 2 days later I'm like, I don't know if this looks good anymore. I'm always like changing, but when I'm like set on something, I'm like, okay, this looks great, and I think it comes because I want it to be like perfect, and my husband is like, not everything's gonna look perfect, but then when it does get there, when it looks amazing, he's like, wow, this looks good, and I'm like, yeah, I told you, it will look amazing in the end. But again, that's definitely something that I'm working on. Just when you buy something or when you have something put up, just live with your decision. That's something that uh, I want to work with, or I mean, I'm like working towards while I'm decorating and stuff. So
I uh, I guess like one of the big things that comes with that is budgeting for projects. Because I feel like when it comes to home decor, it's a lot of it is kind of get pretty pricey pretty quick since it's sometimes bigger projects, right?
yeah, it really does, and I feel like with me, it's like, so my YouTube channel is a lot about decorating on a budget,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you have a room and you have furniture pieces already in it, and you're like, okay, you know what? Um, I want to change it up a little bit. I want this room to look different. And so
Mm-hmm.
instead of like going and buying new furniture pieces, um, you can like flip the furniture pieces, like you flip homes, like you can flip them and you can make them look good, or you can like buy like small budget friendly accessories and just accessorize the room, adding like a nice flowers, or adding like new pillows, or like a new rug. I feel like it just changes up the look of the room, and that's what something that I did. Like, so in my dining room, I had this old piece of a dining table and dining chairs, and I'm like, okay, you know what? And then our house actually has like a very small dining area. And so the dining table and the dining chairs were like a perfect fit for that small corner nook area. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like, okay, you know what? I mean, I don't want to go and get a brand new table and chairs. And so I decided to just kind of like flip them. So I like repainted the table and I upholstered the chair. So like what that means is that
Wow.
I changed the cushion of the chairs, um, and I used like fabric to like make it a different color, and just painted the chairs. And I mean, it looks a completely different like chair and tables. And I showed the before and after on my Instagram account as well, and I showed that to most of my friends. They're like, "Wow, like we wouldn't have guessed it was an old table." So I mean, really thinking about that, just bring your creative side, and how can you I guess how can you create something nice with what you have? And that's what I've been doing throughout my house. Things that I've already bought before, I've been just kind of really thinking of like, how can I make this fit? How can I make this look good? Instead of like getting everything brand new from the store, because I'm trying to like keep it within the budget.
Mm-hmm. What is like your creative process, or I guess when you're looking at your home, at your own home, and you're walking around and you see a particular piece, how does that thinking process work, or like what sparks an idea?
Sparks night. So right now, I'm really trying to decorate like each room at a time in my house. And so when I start with a room, I just kind of like think, okay, so how do I want to feel when I walk into this room? Do I want like it to be bright, colorful? Do I want a more like a dark, moody room, or do I want it to be cozy? So really, starting with that thought process kind of like aligns a lot of different like styles. And so, for instance, I mean, when I started decorating my home office, I wanted it to be, bright, where I'm like working, where I'm like my most creative. And I started off with my walls because my walls were like so dark. And so I decided to just paint them like a bright white color. And I have a and just kind of a process. And then also, I have a app called Canva, and so what I do with the Canva app, I kind of like grab a bunch of like different furniture pieces, and then I use the remove background feature of those, and so it seems like it's without any background, just like a table or like a chair or like a rug,
This is
and
cool.
put it together and you see like, okay, so how is a room going to look with all these different pieces? And you can also like take a picture of like what you already have and like remove the background for it, and then it's just going to be like a brand new piece that saw online, and you can put it together to see how it looks. And so I think that has like really helped me put things together, because even if you want to put things together in your head, sometimes you just can't really like visualize it that clearly.
Mhm.
And I feel like that definitely helps with the planning process. And then also looking at things that you already have, again, the budget friendly part, things you already have, how can I use these things in this room? And so that's how kind of like I go. And um, sometimes things don't work out, like it will look good on the computer on the app, and then when you put it together in the house, it sometimes it wouldn't look good because the lighting is different. And so it's just kind of like a process.
Yeah.
And in the end, things come together, and you take an amazing Instagram worthy picture, you post, and
I
then
I like how you used that technology. That was a really great idea, like using that type of technology to create it. And
yeah,
then
like I think I had seen a video about someone like using it for like a different thing. And I've seen, Pinterest pictures where like people like put together different things on a post, and I'm like, maybe they're using Canva to do it. So then I on Canva, I'm like, wow, this is like, psh, like I needed this in my life. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of different like creativity apps out there, but I feel like Canva just has like everything, and I'm not like sponsored by Canva or anything. I just really like it. I mean, it's very user friendly, and it has pretty much like everything that I'm looking for. So I don't really need to go look for other apps, but there are definitely a lot of creativity apps like that you can use.
so you use that technology. Do you have any type of particular people or like particular influence from other places? I know like people probably think of what is it called, the feng shui. Uh, is there anything like that that inspires you?
Oh, like as in, are you talking about like different like interior design styles?
Yeah, or
Oh,
people that you like, that are inspiration for you.
I see. Yeah, there are actually, I mean, there are some accounts that I follow. I don't have like the name on top of my head, but
Mhm.
I follow these accounts. And then I also go on to, I don't know if you've heard of the architectural design. If they have like magazines, they have a website. It's like the people know them by AD,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a huge kind of like a blog, I would say, and they post different design styles from like actors and all the different interior designers throughout the world, and post like their pictures of their houses or houses that they have decorated. And I feel like it really kind of gives me a sense of like different styles that are out there, because even me going on Pinterest or me going
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram, I feel like sometimes I run into the same type of accounts, same type of styles, and sometimes I don't resonate with the same style. So having a blog like that kind of really gives me an idea of like all the styles that are out there. And it just by looking at the ad, it really does inspire me to create or do interior design like around my own style. Like before, I was kind of uh, I guess kind of restricted to just like one or two design styles, the things that I was seeing online. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I guess this is the design styles. But then when I like expanded my horizons, as per se, I realized that people actually don't really restrict themselves to different to specific design styles. They kind of mix and mash different design styles in their home, and it kind of creates kind of like a personal touch to their home. And so the design styles that I mostly resonate with are kind of like a mid-century modern style with a little bit of a glam and a little bit of rustic. So it's like a lot of different styles, but if I can make it look good and like kind of add my personal touch to it, it definitely does come together. Um, and I do want to now, I mean, before I never even thought about this, but now I kind of want to like travel and see different like architectural designs out there. Like I would have never thought about this, but like now I'm like, okay, sitting at home, I need to go out, I need to travel. And so I've been very inspired by the Scandinavian style. And so the Scandinavian region of like where Sweden, Norway, and like Finland and stuff, like the next time I want to like, that's like my next on the list where I want to like go travel and like really just kind of go to the, I don't know, places there and really like look at the designs and see like how the interior design is, like how are these designers designing, like I mean I guess hotel rooms or like nice restaurants or like anywhere, just like retail shops and stuff like that, and see like how the design is. Because before, if I would go anywhere, and this had just started,
Mm-hmm.
now that I go anywhere, I'm like always looking at how the ceilings are, like what is the art on the walls, how is the carpet, what color is the rug. And like before I would never even like see that stuff. And but now I've been like really really paying attention to all that stuff. I'm like, okay, I think I'm getting kind of getting inspired. So it really just, I don't know, it's I definitely see things or see different things now that I go out, since I've started designing.
It really changed your perspective
It really
on
does. That's
seeing the
exactly the word that
world.
I was going for.
I guess like if you go to Scandinavia, if you go to Finland or someone, like you could legit, I don't know, like ask someone, "Hey, can I go inside your house and just like?"
I know, like I want to do that, but like obviously, after everyone gets vaccinated, I'm sure they'll probably be like, "Yeah, come on." I don't know if that's the accent, but yeah.
um, it's interesting how the dynamic of architecture really it complements a lot when it comes to interior design, because I'm guessing depending on the architecture that you have of your room, you can design a room, right?
It really does. It really does because like if the room is has like a weird uh I guess a weird size, like it will be a little hard to design it because it's smaller and it might not be used for or it might have to be used for a different purpose. So let's for instance like if you have like a corner in your house, you have to use it for a different purpose versus like a a room, and it really does affect how you design a room. It really does.
Hmm.
And I found that there are some rooms in my house that are smaller, and you go out and you try to find things that will like look good, but sometimes you kind of come to a stop and you wonder, okay, this room is really hard, and whoever designed this or whoever like built this house like weren't
Hmm.
thinking of how we were going to design it. So I think like it really does affect the way that you style a room, and I think that's why it's taking me a lot longer to decorate my home office. It's a little weird the way that it's built, but I'll figure it out.
You mentioned Scandinavian style. I guess it does that. I'm pretty sure people immediately think um, IKEA.
I know because IKEA is from like is Swedish. I
Yeah.
believe Swedish, yeah.
So I feel like that, like immediately people think of that. So do you see that Scandinavian style truly translate through IKEA furniture?
So I think like IKEA is more, I would say, budget friendly Scandinavian, and I think it's like a mixture of everything. Mainly, from what I get from Scandinavian style is minimalism and
Hmm.
light wood and a lot of whites, I think, and more like function over style. So if it's providing you function, then and that's what like minimalism is like. If it doesn't provide any kind of like function to your life, then you don't need it. There's less clutter, and I think that's what I really like as well. And I've been trying to incorporate that design style in my house as well because um, and the way I grew up, where I'm from, like we had like a smaller place that we lived in, and
Hmm.
so and we were like a family of like 7 and 8 people, and it was just like you had to have things, but there's like no way to put them, so you just kind of put them like wherever there was space. And so I've never really had that like minimalism like when I grew up. But now it's like looking back, I'm like, okay, I need to really like just reduce clutter and only keep things in my house that I need because and it really does make a difference too, because if you walk into a room and it's just like things everywhere, even though it's nice and tidy, just
Hmm.
there's not stuff on the floor, even though it's nice and tidy, it's just visual clutter. So, and if you walk into a room with maybe like 2 to 3 things and like a big art piece, I mean, it's like your mind is like relaxed. So I think that's what I really want to create in my house, and I think that's a lot of it is comes from that Scandinavian style because they're also more like a function over anything, and also like I think their houses are more open, and they have like um, let's see, like light filtering curtains, so
Oh, okay.
more light coming in, and very light. I mean, they usually do have kind of like a dark, moody style as well. There's like dark furniture to light, so it's like a mixture. But I think mainly what they focus on is function over style.
I know. Like, I like how you mentioned that. your people may think, oh, interior design is just making stuff look fancy, stuff look nice. But
Right.
the way a room is decorated, your own room or your own house, it really affects your mood. Like, like you mentioned, let's say your home office, like decorating in a certain way to make yourself feel nice and not feel, I guess, stressed. Like a busy office makes a busy mind, makes you just stress more. But a more Scandinavian office, a more minimalist office makes you a more relaxed choice. So, um, have you seen that because of the changes that you've made in a room, it really affects your mood or of you or your husband when you are around a certain space from now on?
It really does. Like, I feel like me going in and this sometimes happens like in our living room and like things are everywhere and you're like, okay, like, and I go in there and I clean up or like pick things up that are on the floor and like put it away, like it just, and then you look at it or you look at the room after it's clean, like it's a completely different room. I mean, it doesn't look like it was looking when things are everywhere. And so I feel like cleaning is also part of the minimalism as well, because putting things away and uh, reducing clutter in the house is also part of it. And like you asked earlier, with my home office, now that it's getting to where I want it to be, I feel like definitely when I walk in, it's a lot brighter and it's more clean. And then recently I installed my light fixture, and I used what's called a daylight white LED bulbs. And I feel like
Mhm.
they're a lot better than your normal warm white or soft white that you will see, that mainly the builders would install in your house. Or if you are renting an apartment building, you'll normally have the soft white or the warm white LEDs installed. But if you want it to be a little bit brighter and you want to not feel like you're always falling asleep, you're gonna want to change out your light bulbs to a more like a daylight white. I think somewhere around like 4,000 K to 5,000 K. And after that, after I did that, I realized that I feel less sleepy when I'm working. And I realized that light has it affects your mood so much. And that's why you have to have different lights in different rooms. So if you're in your
Mhm.
living room, then a warm white or a soft white is ideal, because you're pretty much, it's a room for you to relax and lay back and chill. But when you're in a home office or you're, yeah, I think a home office is about right. Then you're
Mhm.
gonna want to like just wake up, like you want to get things done. You don't want to like be sleeping and chilling. So I
Mhm.
think the light, the daylight white LED light is definitely worth investing in, because when I was when I had my previous light fixture on, I found myself like almost falling asleep
Oh no.
by midday, and now I'm like up and just working throughout the day. I'm like, wow, what a change. Okay, yeah, my light fixture is definitely helped me a lot. So
These type of projects, you come up with the idea, you come up with the vision, you budget it, you purchase. How long do your projects really run for? Like,
um, they
how
could
long of a
run like a week, or they can run like 2 to 3 weeks. I
Oh my
mean,
god.
yeah, they could definitely run. I mean, it really depends on uh like how I start. So if I just start out without any planning, then it could take longer. But if I have a plan in my mind, And also, I feel like working my regular job that I have,
Mhm.
like Monday to Friday, I feel like that also takes up like time. So the time that I have to like plan and decorate, it's kind of like the last 2 hours of the day before it's like dark and I don't want to do it anymore. And then mainly I do it on the weekends. So I think like taking the weekends into consideration, I would say maybe 2 to 3 weeks it could take to like decorate a room. And it's a little different with my home office because it's taken forever because again, like we talked about earlier, the way that the room sometimes is built, um, it's really hard to decorate it sometimes because you want it to look bigger. And I mean, it's a small space, but I want it to look bigger. So the reason I painted it a light color because I wanted to open it a little bit more, and I felt like I achieved that by really painting my walls. And then you have to get a nice sized rug to really um, make the I guess the floor a little bigger, kind of feel bigger. And I think that's what like interior design is all about. Like, how can you really utilize the space that you have and not really cramp it? How to bring out your space, the true space that you have.
It's funny because you say that it's about 2 to 3 weeks, but then you see the YouTube video and it's like 10 minutes.
I it's you know what? Like I had no idea what YouTubers or like influencers like they go through until I started my own channel. And it really is like you record, like I record throughout the week while I'm decorating or like planning or whatever. And then once all my videos are there, like there's like 2 to 3 hours of like content, and I can't post 2 to 3 hours of content because nobody's gonna watch it. So I
Yeah.
gotta like edit it like all the way down, and then I gotta make sure that I'm showing the videos or the clips that are the most interesting, and then edit the rest of it out. And I really, really, salute these YouTubers because it does take like I would say to edit down a 2 to 3 hour long video to like 10 or 11 minutes. It could take anywhere from like 2 to 3 hours of like constant like editing and working, and then making sure, and then just replaying it to make sure like it fits,
Mhm.
and then also adding like my voiceovers and stuff. And then also recording a side video where I'm like coming on and like, hey, how's it going? This is what this video or this is it's gonna be about. So you'll have me like dressed up in a separate video, and then I just kind of like attach it together. So I think I kind of got it all right. And I was recording on my phone for quite some time. And then just recently I got a Christmas gift, so it was a new camera. So
Nice.
I haven't actually posted a new video with my camera yet, so I'm excited. But I've been recording with the camera. And it's definitely going to really up my video game. And so, and I definitely did invest in a mic as well. So, I mean, I hope that my voice is good as well here on this podcast that we've got going on. So
Is
just
it?
little things. When I first started, I didn't really think about all the the mic and all the video quality and all that stuff. I just kind of started, and then once I was posting and re-listening to my videos, I was like, okay, you know what? I can change a little bit here. I can change this. And so it's kind of like a learning process for me right now.
And like you actually put some work into it, unlike a podcast where I just saw the intro and an outro, and there you go, like boom.
Yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, like I feel like with the podcast, it's a lot easier because, you have like two people talking about like different things. And but with the video, if you're like really trying to like show them something, like here, come to this side of my house and let me show you what I've done. And so I think I've realized that, the the times where like nothing's happening, like there's nothing that I'm, for instance, if I am like painting something or like painting a picture, or if I am decorating a room, there's going to be some times where I'm like the camera is there and I'm like doing something else and there's like still video. So I have to like edit that part out because I'm not going to show that to my audience. Okay, where did Khadija go? Like she went into the other room to grab something. So it's definitely a little different because it's like motion, and I feel like motion takes a lot longer. And I know like this is really cool too, what you're doing, and good luck.
um, when it comes to I guess two people talking, do you have any collaborations that you would like to do? I'd say that you would hope for to do, or how do collaborations work? I guess when it comes to.
You know what? Now that you brought that up, I was just like thinking about it like a couple of days ago. I'm like, you know what? Like, maybe like I reach out to someone that I really adore, or the someone who really inspires me. Maybe like reach out to them and like collaborate with them on creating or designing a room together or something like that. And I was thinking, I'm like, but then my negative thoughts like held me back. They were like, okay, you have like literally 6 videos on your channel. um but yeah, I think like I really want to do that because I feel like with collaborations, the viewers of the person that you're collaborating with get to view your channel, and my viewers get to view the other person's channels. And I think that's why YouTubers or influencers on Instagram collaborate, because they want to kind of exchange followers and stuff, and also create content for their followers, because people like to see two people working together versus one. I mean, they still like to see one person working, but they also like to see, because two people working together or three people coming together, because we're all social beings. We love being social and we love seeing other people being social. And I feel like the YouTube videos that do really well is where like there's like 5 different people in there and doing different things. And or those videos where someone goes to like a store and like pranks people, and I feel like those they definitely get a lot of viewers. And my brother-in-law was like, hey, you should make some videos like that. And I'm like, pranking people? Like, I don't know. I don't think I have it in me, but I mean, it would definitely be a fun video to watch, or maybe have someone do it with me or something like that.
Aside from your own home, do you have plans on maybe like decorating someone else's house if they give you the chance? Like, have someone like maybe in your family has told you, hey, maybe you should try, like, can you decorate this for me?
Yeah, like it's weird because like every time I was living at my mom's house for a long time, and I never thought about, that's when I didn't have any interest in like decorating or whatever. And now when I like go back to her house, I'm like, okay, you know what, I need to change this, I need to change that. I'll come to your house and I'll like redecorate your bathroom, I'll redecorate your living room. So I have like all these different like ideas I can like do. But it will definitely take time. So I would have to like spend, a week or 2 weeks in our house and like, decorating and stuff. But there's definitely a couple of family members that have reached out to me. They're like, hey, you need to come into my house and you need to decorate this part of my room. And I'm like, yeah, like I want content for my YouTube channel. Like this is great, because I feel like I can decorate my house, as much as I want, but I feel like, I want to also show my viewers how I can decorate like other people's houses, because eventually I think where I want to be with this is I want to still have a channel where I decorate and I post videos, but I also want to kind of take this to a level where I am meeting up with people and doing decorating like person to person.
Hmm.
But it's definitely in its works, because right now it's a little hard to go to someone's house, someone other than your family, because
Hmm.
it's always a risk of getting infected. But hopefully once everything is back to normal, once everyone's vaccinated, and that will be something that I will look into doing.
Oh, and you do it for like a fee.
I mean, you know what, like I was actually thinking about that, and I will probably start off with um free services and like see how it works, and then definitely later on like charge a fee. But I haven't really thought about that yet, so I'm not going to give out a price, this is what I'm charging, but definitely that is going to be one of my things that I want to do.
With your content, I know, like you mentioned, the video recording is, you have to be able to, since it's a long process, but also not waste time and make sure you are showcasing your design as well. How many Instagram photos do you have to take to find the right one when it comes to your pieces?
um, I feel like I do have to take a lot just to kind of like put I guess like taking a picture is also like an art, because
It's your art.
yeah, I mean it's like you walk into a room and like your eyes are gonna see something completely different, but the way that you take a picture, you're just showing the viewer a completely different side of your room. And I sometimes like focus on like one corner versus the other corner. I'm like spilling all my secrets, but I usually focus on like one corner than the other, because I sometimes feel like this one corner is a takes better pictures versus this other corner in the room, even though like together the whole room looks amazing, like comes together. But I feel like it's a little hard to like put that in the picture. And I'm sure like a photographer is probably finds it way easier to put the whole room in a picture. But with me, like since I'm like in the learning phases, I feel like one corner, me taking a picture of like one corner versus the other definitely helps out. And I was going to say something, but I totally forgot. But yeah, anyway, so I think that is definitely one of the things that I want to also is on my list, learning to take amazing pictures for my new camera.
It's all a learning process when it comes to, no one's
Really?
born of content creator, so
Yeah.
no worries about that. Khadija, what are your, I guess, close uh, projects that you have near time and that you have upcoming?
Upcoming. So that's definitely, I know that my home office makeover is definitely upcoming project, and I do want to make over my guest room. I kind of want to create something like super cozy, inviting for my guests when they do come over. I want to have like, a site. Like I think I would say more like a. It's a word. It's like I'm gonna say it. It's hide or hig. I don't even know, like or higgy or something. I think it's more like a relaxing, calming environment, inviting environment. So I kind of want to create that, and I know there's going to be a little bit of planning that will go into it. But that's what I want to create for my guests, and then And then yeah, I think like pretty much most of my house is completely done, and then from then on, I kind of want to start decorating, my friends or my family's places, and kind of like move my channel in that direction. And then I do have other plans of just kind of like doing small DIY budget friendly projects throughout the house, kind of like something that we touched on earlier, creating or converting or flipping something like not so cute looking into something really nice. I think those are the projects that I want to do like in between the room makeovers.
Mhm.
And those projects don't take a lot. They don't take a lot of time versus like a room makeover could take like 1 to 3 weeks, and that is where I kind of got bogged down. I kind of put all my attention to like decorating one room, and I feel like throwing in those mini projects in the mix could definitely help with the consistency of the channel.
And it also complements like the final room makeover videos as like, oh, you guys remember this piece from this
Yeah,
video? Well, here it is now in this room, and you know,
it really does. It really does.
you make a
Oh,
whole cohesive system.
exactly.
Khadija, um, would you have any final tips for our listeners that you would say when just decorating their room, or at least attempting to, like, including myself? Like, my room's a mess. It's very Scandinavian, I guess. It's pretty empty, but it's empty because I'm too lazy to buy decor.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know what? I feel like the little things that you could do is, buying like cute artwork and like putting on your empty walls. And I feel like it really does direct viewers or like someone who's in your room, like their eyes directly to the artwork. So like their eyes don't go on the floor. If you have stuff on the floor. And then just like really cleaning it up. And I realized that cleaning my room definitely adds that aesthetic feel to the room, even though it's not like decorated and it doesn't have a lot of decor. I feel like cleaning does really add that added bonus. And yeah, I think, man, I think that's it. And watch some YouTube videos to really understand your style. I think that's also one of the things that people like shy away from, is they sometimes they don't know their style, and they're scared to put different styles together. But if it goes, then go for it.
You can watch Khadijah's channel and get
Or you can
inspiration from
watch my
there.
channel.
Khadijah, where can they follow you? Where can they check you out?
Yeah, so my Instagram account is at Lovely Miss Katie, and my YouTube channel is just my name, my first and my last name, Khadija Najmi. And I'm going to start posting every other week. So stay tuned.
Nice. Nice. Well, thank you very much for being on the show. I also want to thank our listeners for listening on the show, this episode of Your Way with No Way. Just a reminder, this episode of Your Way with No Way and any other episode we have before are available on all major podcast streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music. There will also be a video version on YouTube, and then you check this video out and then go see Khadijah's channel and fix up your room based on her inspirations. You can guys can follow me at Yo Soy No Way No E on every single platform, Instagram, Twitter, and you can also see me on Twitch, where we discuss this podcast and the other episode. You guys have questions, you can ask me there. Thank you so much for listening to the episode. Thank you so much, Khadija, for being on the show.
Thank you.
My name, my name is Noe, and this has been Khadija's Way. Thank you.